show right here. So what we can do now is that we can take this phone number, we can get it back into Go High Level, and for that, as you can see, we are using make.com. We then want to take this phone number inside of Go High Level and send that SMS. But before we do that, we need to add an additional step where we search up the contact, find the right contact, and then send them the text message. So let's do that. In order to take the signal that we now have from 11 Labs into Make and to get that into Go High Level, we need to do one more step first. And that is that we need to find the contact inside of Go High Level first before we can trigger the SMS. The reason for that is that we need to know, okay, what contact should we actually send this SMS to? And in order to find the contact, we're going to do a phone number lookup. So inside of Make, we are basically going to, we have the webhook step right here. This webhook is basically what grabs the signal. Then we are going to look up the contact inside of Go High Level in order to find it. And then at the end, we are going to trigger Go High Level, and I'll show you how to do that in a sec. But we're basically going to tell Go High Level to now send the SMS. And in order to do that, I think we're going to be using a tag. The tag, let's call that booking link sent. Awesome, so let's build this out. The first thing we have right here is the webhook node. Next thing we want is to use the Go High Level app. That's one of the reasons to why we use make.com and not something like init. It is that there's a native Go High Level app inside of make.com, which makes it a lot easier. I'm going to search for search contacts, which basically searches through a Go High Level sub account in order to find a specific contact. So we're going to click add right here. Then I'm going to choose Go High Level location auth. Call this one. This is what their Go High Level sub account is called. Click save. This is going to open up the window where I can authenticate. Click login. There we go. If we go back into Make, you will now see it'll say authenticated in a sec. Then we can open this window. This is the things that we give it access to. We click next. Then I choose the sub account that we want to integrate. This is the one that's called Forex Funded. And we're basically going to use the phone number in order to search up the contact. So I'm going to set the limit to 1. We only want 1 contact returned. And then I'm going to set the query to this phone number and then click save. So what this step does is that this step takes the phone number, finds the contact inside of Go High Level, and now we want to update the contact. We basically want to tell Go High Level that we should send this contact an SMS. To do that, we use update a contact. We use the same sub account that we just connected to just before. Then we insert the contact ID, which we are going to get from search contact. So I can insert contact ID right here. We don't have to change anything else because all of the information is fetched from the contact ID. We can scroll down until we find tags. And then we're actually going to want to create a tag inside of Go High Level. So inside of the sub account that we're in right now, that's called Forex Funded, I'm going to go down and create a tag. I'm going to call this booking link sent, like this. I'm going to copy it, click create booking link sent. That's going to create the tag and click apply. Then I'm going to go back into make.com. I'm just going to scroll down until where it says tags. And now it's fetching for the tags and I can find the one that we just created, which is this one, booking link sent. So basically what this flow is doing is that we are catching the signal from 11 Labs, from our agent that says, now we need to send this contact an SMS. We are searching for the specific contact inside of our Go High Level sub account. And then we are updating the contact that we have now added this link, booking link sent. And I'm going to show you why this is smart in just a second. So when it's done, we now click save. And now we can click on immediately as it arrives and turn on this scenario. The next thing we want to do is that we want to head under Go High Level and then into automation. And then create a new automation because we are almost finished with this tool now. Now we are correctly sending it from 11 Labs. We're sending it to make.com and we are finding the contact and we are sending it to Go High Level, right? We added a tag. The next thing we need to do is just the last thing, which is that we need to say, okay, from Go High Level, we need to send a text message to this contact that we have already found. To do that, we need to create an automation inside of Forex Funded. I'm going to create a new folder so I don't mess up the automations that they already have. And I'm going to call this AI Agents. I'm actually going to call it Shiney.ai Agents. Shiney is our agency, right? Create a workflow, start from scratch. Then I'm going to call it send booking link. The trigger will be tag added because we just updated the flow to add the tag as the last step. So if we now create a trigger inside of Go High Level that says edit tag, and then we find the one that's called booking link sent, this workflow will now trigger when this tag is added. And now we can click save the trigger. The next thing we want to do is to send the SMS. So we search for SMS, click send SMS right here, choose a template. We don't need a template. Then we just write hi, and here we're going to have the first name, contact. Here is the link to book with the $100 off voucher. It's valid for 7 days. We'll see you soon. Then we need to insert the link right here. So for now, I'm just going to have a placeholder, just link. I'll be showing you how we can create the link in just a second. Here we have the link to book. We click save action, and now it is saved. So when the voice agent now sends the signal, it's going to go from 11 Labs over to Make, from Make over to Go High Level, trigger this flow and send this SMS. Move this from draft to publish.